Welcome to part number 7 of the Mega Man 1 Perfect Pacifist run. We're moving on to the Dr. Wily stages now, and to be honest, these stages were a lot easier than I originally thought they were going to be. I thought that I was going to have to kill, 7 to 10 enemies in order to get through these stages without taking any damage. But in reality, I was able to clear 3 out of the 4 stages without killing a single enemy. In this stage, I killed 0 enemies. In Wily Castle 3, I killed 0 enemies. And in Wily Castle 4, I killed 0 enemies, except for the boss refights, which are required. The only stage that was really a problem was Wily Castle 2, and we'll be seeing that in the next video. But I thought these were going to be so hard because of the way they're designed. In the 6 main stages, you're often in like an outside location, and you usually have a lot of room to move around and a lot of different ways to avoid enemies. Even if you couldn't jump over a specific enemy, you could always use the magnet beam to get past them, or you could do something like that. You had a lot of room to maneuver around. But in the Wily stages, they're all inside, and you really don't have much room to go anywhere. So even if you wanted to use the magnet beam, you really don't have the room to do so. But luckily, the stages happen to be possible to kill 0 enemies. I was really surprised, but I'm not going to complain. I'm happy about it. Now for Wily Castle number 1, the Ice Slasher is your best friend. It helps you with the big eyes at the beginning of the stage. You can freeze them while they're jumping. You absolutely need it to get past the fire barriers right after that. And it also helps freezing those hopping enemies in the room right above the fire barriers. Simply because just getting past them without freezing them is just really difficult. I wasn't able to do it. And you still have to go into that room and then the room below it to have the enemies respawn, because they need to jump in a certain way in order for you to get up there without taking a hit. So you have to keep going up and down. Just try it out, you'll figure it out quick enough. Anyways, here is the boss of Wily Castle 1. It is the infamous Yellow Devil. And I'm sick of saying this. This boss is not that hard. I don't see what the big deal is. All you have to do is memorize one pattern. It does the same exact thing every single time you fight it. Every single time! You just need to memorize the pattern once, and you will never have trouble with this boss again. I don't see why it's that hard. And I'm tired of hearing people say, Yellow Devil is the hardest boss in classic Mega Man. No. Just, no. Not even close. That statement, it's almost offensive to me, really. I mean, it's not even close to being the hardest boss in classic Mega Man. I'm sorry, it's just not. And I really don't see why people have problems with this boss. But instead of ranting about Yellow Devil for the next 2 or so minutes, I have a few things I want to say real quick. First off, this challenge was yet another subscriber recommendation. This challenge came from the user by the name of Mystic L10. I think this is the first challenge he sent me. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, I really did enjoy this challenge. Like the Kirby challenges, this was a new take on a game I've played so much, and it was really refreshing. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I am going to make this a series of challenges. Like the Mega Man No Damage Run, or runs, plural, I'm going to do as many Mega Man games as I can without taking any damage and killing as few enemies as possible. And for this series, I'm going to alternate between the Classic and the X series. Just because I want to see how the challenge plays out in both of them, because they're different games. I mean, they're still Mega Man, and they have the same basic structure, but different mechanics will change how the challenge works out, and it'll be interesting to see how many enemies I need to kill. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to kill more enemies in the Classic series because the X series has the dash. And the dash, it really helps you avoid some enemies that are too long and some enemies that are too tall, and you really have a greater, you have greater mobility in the X series than you do the Classic series. But also in the X series, there are some weapons that will help you avoid enemies, like Sting Chameleon's weapon in Mega Man X. That one helps you avoid pretty much any enemy in the game, so I think Mega Man X will be really easy, but when we move on to like X2 and X3, it'll get more interesting, trying to avoid some of those enemies. I don't know, I'm really excited to see how this challenge plays out. I really want to know, you know, what game am I going to have to kill the most enemies? What game will I kill the least amount of enemies? And it's going to be really interesting to see, and I'm really excited to bring these challenges to you. Anyways, Yellow Devil is dead. He's not a hard boss at all. You will never have trouble with him as long as you memorize the pattern. Anyways, I will see you all in Wily Castle 2.